Hello, Gemma Gilbert here. In this video, I'm going to talk you through the four kind of main one-to-many models I see used in the online world. I like the pros and cons of each. So why do we shift to one-to-many? Typically what happens is you get flat out with one-on-one. It's quite physically and emotionally draining. You're working a lot of hours. It's kind of time for money. You can package it up and obviously move it away from being time for money. But we're still working with a lot of clients. And that means it's difficult to scale and you hit an income ceiling. And when you hit that income ceiling, you either build a team to help you with that one-on-one delivery, or you shift to a one-to-many model. Now, one-to-many, the obvious reason this works is we're going to serve many people with one offer. So we're going to be able to make more money. We're going to break through the income ceiling. We're going to have a lot more clients. I just want to say before I talk through the one-to-many models, you need an audience to grow to one-to-many. You can't just shift without a network, without an audience to sell to. It's one of my biggest bugbears that people in my industry sell programs to people and suggest that one-to-many is a business model you can start from the off. It's much harder to generate 5 or 10 clients for an offer than it is for one, which for me, why you want to get your one-on-one lead flow working first. So the first one-to-many model that I see people consider is memberships. And the general thinking I see people follow is, it'll be really, really easy to sell a membership because I'll charge like 30 or 40 or 50 pounds. It's barely any money. And I get to create this great container where they're going to get tons of value. They're going to get like a monthly live training. They might have other experts in there. And they're going to get so much for this 30 pounds a month. And there are some super successful memberships when you think about like the Female Entrepreneur Association. There's tons of successful memberships. So the model works, right? But where people typically go wrong with this model is they shift to memberships before they have an established business. For me, memberships are a one-to-many model that works well when you have an established business, an established audience, and that you go in with your eyes wide open with what the membership model involves. I ran a membership for 2.5 years. We grew it to 250 people. It was bringing in 10K a month. But what I learned in the process was it wasn't the model for me. It is all encompassing. They never speak. You get stuck in constant launch cycles. You're constantly trying to prove to members the value so they stay in. So you're focused on member retention. Then you've got the churn each month of members leaving. So you're constantly having to replenish the members. So it's a bit of a beast of a model. Now, obviously some people run it really successfully, but what I kind of learned in that process was it wasn't for me, and we ended up closing down the membership. What I see a lot of people do is start a membership before they have an established business. They end up with like 20 or 30 members paying 30 quid a month, and then they're doing a ton of work for like a few hundred quid. Like £1,000. So again, for me, that model is when you have an established business, you like launching, you're going to get really good at like copywriting, and you're going to nail that process to bring in constant new members. The second core one-to-many model, and this is very like circa 2015, is DIY courses. This idea that you buy something, it's completely self-paced, there is no engagement with the person running the thing. You've recorded the content, people buy it and they do it. This used to be super, super popular, right? When the course kind of industry blew up and everyone was creating courses. Now, one of the reasons I'm not a massive fan, pretty much the chief reason, well, there's 2 chief reasons I'm not a fan of the course model. One is average course completion rates are like under 5%, which means 95% of people that buy your thing aren't even going to complete it, right? And for me, like if you care about clients' results and actually selling people things they're going to use, we know we need accountability to be successful, right? We know we need accountability to be successful. And there's literally studies to prove this. So I think people often, again, go into the course industry without really understanding accountability or even teaching structure, right? I'm a former teacher and I really, really care about program design, and people just create courses. They think it's about just recording their knowledge like in a video and giving that to clients, and that's going to get them results, and it's not as simple as that. So what frustrates me about the course industry is people don't care enough about completion rates and accountability to complete it. They don't care enough about program designs, and so you end up buying these crappy courses that ultimately don't get the result you want. and just like reflect. Do you have a course sitting in your inbox that you bought for a couple of £100 and never completed? The other thing about selling courses is they're a hard sell, right? You have to, again, have a really strong sales funnel. You have to be really good at copywriting. You have to use a kind of pressure tactics to really bring the urgency in for people to buy these DIY courses. So we've gone through memberships, courses. The third one-to-many model is group programs. This is the one sort of my business is based on. The reason I really like group programs, so ran the all-encompassing membership model, found out that wasn't for me. Never went the DIY course route, again, because of the accountability thing. My one-on-one service was really successful. So for me, it was like, how do I make my one-on-one service a group service? Because if my one-on-one service was a group service, then I could serve a lot more people, earn a lot more money, but still get really, really great results, right? Memberships don't get people really, really great results because people aren't paying a lot. They don't show up, right? They don't show up and do the work in a membership if you're paying £30 a month, right? The amount you charge people commands how much they're going to show up. So when I started running group programs, initially in like cohorts, like start-stop group programs, it was such a powerful way to not only kind of scale my service, but I learned in that dynamic the power of community. And the second I started running group programs, and I realized, wow, they're not just getting results because of me, they're getting results because of the community they're surrounded in. And that group accountability, that group momentum, that group support added an element that was missing from my one-on-one. And I started realizing actually my group clients were getting better results than my one-on-one clients because of that group support they had. There are so many different formats you can run for group programs. You can just run live coaching sessions if you're a coach, for example. You can have a pre-recorded curriculum. That's the model I have. For me, I like to take everything good about memberships, everything good about courses, and everything good about one-on-one coaching and turn it into one program. So for me, there's the pre-recorded curriculum, there's the live sessions, there's the community that you have in a membership, and it just means that people get the best results. That's my favorite. And then the fourth one-to-many model is masterminds. Now, the difference between, say, a group coaching program and a mastermind, masterminds typically aren't content driven. So whereas a group program, like you join my group program, I help you, it's all very meta. I help you craft an evergreen group program, right? Create it, sell it, market it, and sell it. Whereas a mastermind tends to be a bringing together of minds of other people you want to be surrounded with. So for example, I might go to all my high level clients and say, hey, I'm going to create a mastermind. There's going to be eight business owners in a room. We're going to meet every single week, and we're literally going to use, your minds and me as your coach to help you drive your progress forward. So typically they're less content driven, more high level thinking, more about getting the right people in the room, and less about achieving like a super duper specific result, which is really, really critical with group programs, right? The transformation that it offers, that's why people are buying. So what I would recommend is if you're like fully booked with one-on-one, you're thinking about how you scale, go in with your eyes wide open with regards to which model you're going to choose. Don't just do this thing where people are like, I'm going to create a course with no concept of do they have an audience, what result is it going to deliver, and how they're going to sell it. And if you want help with the evergreen group program piece, if you want the kind of group program you can enroll into monthly, I love this because you don't have to launch, it's just consistent lead generation into your group program, enrolling 3 to 5 clients a month. That's the piece I help with. Feel free to drop me a DM with the word amplify and I'll get you the details. Have an awesome day.